This video is going to be pretty different from my other superhero related videos, but since my channel can basically cover anything that's on TV, I feel like this doesn't stray too far from my other videos. I'm planning to talk more about cartoons in the future, so stay posted. I'm also just going to be using Steven Universe footage for the commentary because I don't really know what to put when I'm talking. So I saw one of my favorite YouTubers, Just a Robot, talk about the Calarts art style and cartoon reboots. His video covered topics like action cartoons being rebooted as comedies, and I, like he does, have pretty strong opinions on this whole thing. For those of you who don't know, Calarts is the name given to the simple, big-eyed, weird art style given to modern-day cartoons, like Clarence, The Amazing World of Gumball, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Teen Titans Go, OKKO, and Steven Universe. There's a whole conspiracy behind this whole thing. Like, some people say the reason so many cartoons look like this is because it's just a trend. Like the cartoons on Cartoon Network in the 90s all had thick looking lines, and that is the most plausible reason for cartoons looking like this. However, I think there's more to it than it's just a trend. It may be just a trend, but there's more stuff to cover behind this new art style. The whole CalArt thing was popularized when the new trailer for the Thundercats Roar show came out. I'm going to be splitting up this video into sections so it doesn't sound too confusing. So here's my first section. The original Thundercats was a 100% action show, and this reboot is making it in this simple art style and a pure comedy just like the original Teen Titans show that got rebooted the exact same way to become Teen Titans Go, and we all know how that turned out. The problem people are having with this show is that it looks too similar to modern day cartoons, and I guess that translates to the show looks like a pure modern comedy show to appeal to today's children with no regard to original fans, and I can see where they're coming from. The dude in this trailer said that their team is trying to make the show awesome and action-packed to feel like Thundercats, and I don't know what to say, because Thundercats was all about action, so if he's saying that there's action in the show, does the action equal good show? Because he didn't say what kind of action was in the show. Is it inexcusable that they had this art style and the action doesn't matter anymore? Or is the reason that the art style is so simple is so it can allow for smoother action and fight scenes? And my guess is that the show is going the route of OKKO, which is a show that I love. Some people theorize that the art style is for better action scenes, like Steven Universe's cool action scenes with a simple art style, and this show nails it. OKKO has a simple art style as well, and when there's action in the show, it looks awesome and smooth. But these cartoons are their completely own things. Thundercats Roar is a reboot of an action show. So does that mean it's not allowed to look like this? My logic is as long as the show is good, I personally don't mind, as long as the people know what they're doing. But let's look at how Teen Titans turned out. The show was originally really fucking good. With cool action and fight scenes, the reboot Teen Titans Go had a simple CalArts art style, like other shows. Now this wouldn't be a big deal as long as the show is good. Not only that, but the simple art style allows for better action, right? So is this show good? No, the show is not good. The show is straight up ass. It has retarded immature humor, and not only that, but many episodes teach bad morals to children. No joke, here are some of the terrible morals from Teen Titans Go. Being greedy is good. Sexism is good. Lie to naive people. Don't make decisions for yourself. Reading books and gaining knowledge is bad for you. Cheating makes you win. Don't apologize for your mistakes. Manipulate people for your own good. You shouldn't let things go. Like, are the directors of this show actually trying to make kids grow up and become social retards? So looking at Teen Titans Go, the show was an action show originally and was rebooted in the CalArts art style. The show wasn't good. The show completely became an immature comedy for children rather than an action show, and the show didn't take advantage of the art style change for smoother animation and fight scenes. This is an example of every wrong way to reboot a cartoon. However, the dude in the Thundercats video did say that the show would have action, and presumably take advantage of this new art style. So if the show turns out to be fucking cool like OKKO, then I'm okay with it. I've only watched a few episodes of the original Thundercats shows, so I don't really mind as long as it's good with cool action. Shows with this style proved to be very good. Not because they had action, but because they didn't have to worry about being action because they didn't have any fans to satisfy when the show was first being made. So shows like Gumball and Steven Universe and OKKO can be their own thing. Sometimes though, shows with the CalArts art style developing arcs can make the show a bit of a mess, and there are many examples of that. And I'm going to be using Adventure Time as an example of this. The show started out as a wacky show for kids with funny adventures.
We want to talk to Abadir!
What? When your thingy comes up, Hunt and Abadir will see you through the door.
42 million? What's the number on the door?
41 million. We're next. Phew. Man, I thought I was gonna throw up.
It was hilarious and enjoyable, but it took a turn from being a funny, lovable show for kids to become more deep, existential. It developed story arcs and arcs that would fit better if the show was PG-13. And the show eventually decided it wanted to appeal to all audiences, grown-ups and kids. This is a problem, because if your show is meant to be simple, then you shouldn't develop super awesome arcs for your show. Some people say that this is what makes Adventure Time really awesome, because it can appeal to adults as well as children, and I can kind of see where that point is from. However, that doesn't really excuse the countless overarching episodes that can frighten young children, and the really adult-oriented episodes. Another show that I can think of that suffered from this was Star vs. the Forces of Evil, which ended not long ago. This show was really good in its first 2 seasons with cool action, but in every season after this one, the show just became too whack and over the top with arcs. Shows that don't suffer from this that I can list are OKKO, Steven Universe, Regular Show, and Gumball. OKKO does have comedy, but the action mixed into the show with the vibrant smooth animation looks brawlic, and it definitely takes advantage of the art style to make cooler fight scenes, and being its own thing. Steven Universe actually developed arcs in its later seasons, but the show's never really been overdone. The arcs were actually good and allowed for more cool action. Gumball had a finale recently. The arcs developed in that show were subtle and only took several episodes. This show never lost its flow. It could still make funny episodes and could simultaneously develop for their finale. This show actually improved as it went on, and the last regular show, what I believe to be the best show on Cartoon Network. It started out as a show about some park managers, and it became a show about saving the universe. The reason I excuse this show is because even when it was developing stuff, it still felt consistent. So my conclusion about Calarts cartoons. On many occasions, a Calarts cartoon can be bad, but if done right, they can be really good. That was basically it. Those were the points I said in this video. Jesus Christ, I could have just said that, but that wouldn't make a good video, would it?
It does.
Yeah.